For about a decade, classroom technology has quietly broken something important. Teachers lost the ability to see what students were actually doing. Word processors, slideshows, they were designed for motivated adults working in situations where they don't need to have their attention managed or the pacing managed, and they're not learning in the classroom. We gave every student a device and we lost our line of sight. So I don't mean like just theory. I mean real, just classroom awareness of what's going on. In a good classroom, you know what's happening. You walk around, you do a little guiding, a little redirecting. I taught middle school for 35 years. There's plenty of redirecting. This used to be normal. And then every student got a laptop, and suddenly we couldn't see their work anymore. You know, when teachers lose that awareness, a lot of things happen fast. Students drift off task. The work slows down. It becomes harder to know what's actually their own work. And the whole pace of the class starts to slip. That's not just a small problem. That's the core of teaching. So some people call this control or even surveillance, but that's not what it's all about. Good teaching is always dependent on that awareness, knowing when to step in, when to guide. We didn't just lose control, we lost our line of sight to be responsive to the needs of our students. Now, schools have tried to solve this with some screen monitoring tools and filters, and they're great. That's not exactly what I want. I want something that's not just watching a grid of tiny screens. It takes a lot of work on my part that's not teaching work. What we need is something that is going to be efficient and quick to restore the teacher's line of sight in electronic digital teaching, whether remotely or in person. So that's what I've been building with these apps, real-time monitors and AI-assisted proctoring that lets people know in real time what's going on with the lesson and the student work, and afterwards allows an in-depth analysis to know what was going on. We're not watching everything, but we're making student work visible again in a way that was evident and common before EduTech. Let me show you how this works in practice. Click on the monitor and you can see them while they're working and how things are going. You can hide the names and show the names. This is very useful for sharing a screen so the class knows, hey, the teacher's aware of what's going on. The monitor for the test, see if I can find one of those, is particularly useful because it allows you to not only see what people are doing and while they're doing it, but it also even allows you to send them little messages to help speed them along or to let them know maybe they need to relook at one of their answers or something like that. And this is what the test monitor looks like. You can see, you as the teacher can see the progress they're making. You can view their actual work. You can see the correct answers. You can readmit a student from here who has accidentally left the test or needs a second try. You can hide the name entirely. And as I say, you can send them a message. With regard to the proctor notes, it's a very handy way to look and see what's going on later. Take a look at the proctor logs. You can pick out your student and see what they have been doing. And it helps a lot in situations where there might be some suspicious situation going on. The students know that they're being monitored, and so this helps a lot to solve problems before they begin.